What's going on, everyone? It's Greg back with some more Heroic Expedition, and today we're going to talk about the new game mode. I know I'm a little late, but I was out of town, so I'm just now kind of getting around to it. Before we do that, thank you guys for all the support. We're over 200 subscribers, heading our way to the 250. Just a quick reminder, we're doing a giveaway at 250 for a $25 iTunes or Google Play gift card. All you have to do is subscribe, turn notifications on, and make sure you like and comment on any of my videos before we hit 250. All right, so like I said, we have a new game mode. And I gotta say, it is at least a positive note, and we need to touch on those positive things. That DH Games has added 2 game modes, and the game has not been out for a month yet. So I do appreciate that, and it's another way to get different resources and things like that. And maybe some of these changes are how they will eventually kind of balance the game and keep it enjoyable. So for this new game mode, you do not need to build a new building in the manor. It is actually this big old building up in the top right corner called the Tower of Trials. Now, there isn't a whole lot to show on here yet because the way they did this, there are 5 areas, and each area is based on the faction, and you can only bring in heroes from that faction. So in the Tower of Light, you can only bring in light heroes, Tower of Dark heroes, etc. Pretty self-explanatory. One of the key things here that, maybe is slightly disappointing to me is that instead of being able to just go up to whatever floor you can make it to, you are limited to 10 tries per faction per day. And that's of course when it is open, which you can see here there are 3 days for each one, such as light is Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday. And so there's one day, I believe Saturday, that all 3 of the factions of the Ocean, Chaos, and Forest are open. Other than that, there are 2 factions open a day. Now, since you are limited to 10 floors in each faction per day, you're pretty much stuck once you hit past 10 floors. So that's why there isn't too much to show for this at this point, because there's not too much strategy behind it. If you're pretty far enough in the game, there is no strategy. You at least have 1 hero leveled up from each faction because of the rainbow aura, which most people go for, and then you pretty much have someone to handle each tower. Now, that being said, if you have like a tank or something, that you might have a little bit more difficulty there, but for the most part, most of these should be fairly easy. I'm not sure exactly when it's going to get hard, but at that point, I will probably make some more videos and go into more strategy on what to do once you start hitting walls. So I just do want to go through a little bit of the gameplay. Forest is the one, since they launched this is the second time it's being open, so I can just zoom through this kind of quickly. As you can see here, I have my Bella, and Matthew is now 10 star. Just got that yesterday. So I do have heals and DPS. So for Forest Tower, I should be pretty good for a while. And, eventually I can get my Cynthia with some crowd control, get those entangles going. And, from there, when you need some stuff like that, you should be able to maybe only level up heroes a little bit. Because, of course, I'm not going to just have level 200 heroes left and right. Right now, I only have 8 total. And that's only after today when I get Matthew to 200. So basically I have had the resources to get 8 characters maxed out. So let's just go ahead and run through this. I'm going to fast forward these, or no, I'll play one of them just so you can see it is pretty easy early on here. That little shield from Cynthia isn't really doing anything at this point. Bella is going to take care of everything, and then of course Matthew will keep me alive, but that doesn't even matter at this point because these things aren't hitting hard at all. So there you have it. Let's see, Bella is going to do it active, and boom, dead. Now I can go ahead and tell you, kind of a little bit about the strategy that will come up in the future. And this kind of ties into a strategy from Mirror, which I'll probably do another video on soon. But there is one ore that is kind of actually quite important, which is the green ore, which grants you some healing and comes in quite handy. I've actually used it on my Melissa, and with Melissa, she hits pretty hard and does some nice burns, And on bosses, there, you have a little bit of issue with survivability. And I just got my Matthew up, which is good. Now that's helped me quite a bit in my boss damage. But Melissa, I put the green aura on her, and she can survive the whole boss fight because of those large hits. So same thing in these floors. Like if you switch around your ores, maybe you switch around gear a little bit, it does mean you're gonna have to do a little more, maintenance with your team. Make sure you put the gear back where it belongs, etc. But you can do those things to, make each tower a little bit easier each day. All right, we're gonna go ahead and fast forward through these. And I'm gonna go ahead up to the max, which I can beat floor 20. Now, the way this works, the prizes on these intermediate floors, so between every 5 floors, you're going to get a little bit of gold, a little bit of elixir, not much to do and make any difference. Maybe later on down the line, it's a little better. Now, floor 15, so every 5 floors, and if you're on the 5, it's I believe 100 gems, and on the 10s, like 10 and 20, it's 200 gems. I'll show you that in a minute. I don't know when they start increasing or how they increase, but here I'm on floor 15, get 100 gems plus those other resources, and you'll kind of see the gold and elixir go up a little bit, but again, it's not giving you much. I mean, 10 floors, you get about 250k gold and elixir. That's really nothing at this point. So let's get up to floor 20, and then we're gonna see what we're looking at for floor 20 through 30 on the chaos faction. Now, while I'm glad they add this mode, it did add a component where you're forced to kind of work on other characters in a faction. And at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you and your gameplay. If you can't afford those resources to make it up these floors, then you know what, just don't worry about it. Just hold off and wait till you can. All right, so we are on floor 20, and it should be 200 gems. I can't remember if there's something else that comes here. Maybe some yeah, you do get some elite shards, and then one little enhancement crystal. Hopefully they got maybe the blue and purple ones as you move up. 200 gems and 5 shards for that faction is kind of important. Now, yesterday, the reason why my Matthew is up is we had the green boss yesterday. Got those 4 shards, and that is where I got my Matthew. So, I mean, you can get good characters in those shards. I don't believe there are any characters that are excluded from those shards. You can get, I believe, both food and natural 4 stars. Now, let's go to the chaos. So, chaos is my first one that I'm going to go up to floor 30. And let's see how we're looking here. Who do I really have here? Really, I only have Melissa, but I have the green ore on her in general. And if I didn't, I'd probably go ahead and put it on her for these battles so that she can have some self-sustain. So let's go ahead and see how that's looking. So as you can see there, 3.9k heal. Let's see how much she heals on her active. So I didn't even look at the heal, but the hit was 64k, so she should have got a nice little heal from that. 3.4k heal. Don't believe she heals on her counterattack. I don't believe anyone actually heals on a counterattack like Sylvia. If she blocks a counterattack, I can't remember if she heals or not. But for my counterattacks, I do not think you heal. So let's see if we can see what that big heal was again. So 3.9k. We get the active. It's only 862 there. That might have been because of the fact that it did not have much HP left. So, I mean, at this point in the stage, that artifact is not going to be doing much. She doesn't even really need the self-sustain at this point. But that is just a general tip. That's one good usage of the green ore. If you are having trouble in things like the mirror, or maybe you're on one of the boss stages and your characters are dying off, whoever's doing your highest DPS, you put the green ore on them and it helps give them a little more sustain. The only character that doesn't really help is Sylvia. I've done some testing, and if your block is high enough, then you really rather have the block than you would the heal. So, you know, take the information as you may. I would say, like, especially a mirror, if you can throw that green ore, you get a little more sustain on your characters as you're going through mirror, and you can switch it out in between as well. All right, see if we get through floor 25 and see if we still get the 100 gems. And then on floor 30, we're going to see if the levels are getting any harder. Here we've got 100 gems at 25. And as you can see here, I believe the gold and elixir go up with the floor number. So 33, or no, I mean it does, but it's not quite the same as the floor number. So let's see if this is 34k. Yeah, so we're going at 1k per floor. I don't know how many floors they got in here. We don't know how fast they scale. So far it seems to be pretty slow in terms of the scaling, but I mean, this mode came out after I was pretty far in the game. So let's see, let's get to floor 30 and see how hard that is. All right, here we go. So we're just gonna take a quick look here, see if we're getting any trouble. Like, none of my other characters are leveled up except Melissa. And so at this point, we're not one-shotting with the basic. I know we'd one-shot with the active. And being as Melissa is a single target hero, these battles take a little bit longer. And boom. All right, so still 5 shards, 200 gems, and 1 gray enchantment thing. I'm gonna venture a guess and say that maybe the prizes start increasing at 50. Let's see if I can see what it is at 40. Yeah, 40, we still have the same prize. So probably next time this one comes around, I'll be able to see what we're looking at for floor 50, at least be able to preview that. But as you can see, pretty easy so far. There isn't too much strategy to it, but some basic things, and even basic for the game. That green ore is very good for, you know, some self-sustain. It's not amazing, but it can help you keep you alive a little bit longer. So definitely try switching that around, especially on bosses, mirror, anything you're struggling with, and see if that helps you out a little bit. In terms of heroes for the tower, I would not worry about focusing any heroes if you're still progressing in the game. Once you have a full team that you're using for most of your modes, and you know they're all at level 200, then you can start focusing on maybe some characters that might help you in any of the towers that you're weaker in, such as maybe the one that your tank is in, or if you're using Matthew as a healer, maybe you need to have a DPS hero in forest. Little things like that. You want to find out what's useful, take a look at the different skills, level up those characters that you need. So we'll go ahead and call it there. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You know, as I'm able to progress and see what some of the other rewards are in here, I will, you know, do some additional videos. And if we get to the point where we need some strategy and it would help to, you know, change some things up to be able to progress on these floors, we will go over that as well. Until then, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you in the next video.